Are you a web developer or a mobile developer, front-end developer, back-end developer, or full stack developer? Maybe the trend which is coming forth is going to change this whole environment, and if you are not aware of that, please do listen and tell me what do you think about my assessment, observation, and how I foresee this space evolving. As I said in my last video that I am starting with this technology evolution cycle, where we will talk about the majority of trend and how they will shape up the larger industry in general. Today I have come up with my findings, my assessment and analysis in this space called the front end space, and this comes from the Windows evolution. If you have seen that Windows 11 is coming up with some new features, and this is an old news now that Windows 11 is going to support native Android apps, and that makes a lot of people excited, while I look at that in a larger purview and what this means for our overall web development, the application development and mobile development. So if you don't know how this will be done, how Windows is supporting the Android space, Windows has collaborated with Amazon App Store, and Amazon App Store will be available on Windows like Microsoft Store. From there you can directly download lot of apps. I think about 6 lakh or over 6 lakh apps or Android apps are there. So Amazon App Store, if you are not familiar, is the same app store from where Amazon downloads all its app for its own devices, whether it is Fire Stick, Kindle or any other device they have. So now that Amazon App Store has reached some scale, therefore Windows has collaborated with them, and they are going to benefit. Why is Windows not supporting the App Store directly or Google Play Store directly? Because Google and Microsoft are direct competitor in the operating system market. Google with its Chromebook directly competes with Microsoft, and they are targeting the same user. And this feature, which is the native Android support, is already available in the Chromebook. Therefore it makes no sense that Google or Microsoft will come ever together. So Amazon has no such thing, or Microsoft Amazon has no such thing in the operating space. That's why they can collaborate on that. Now the other question comes, if we have App Store coming from Amazon, can we install our own apps or APKs on Windows? This should be, because the way it is going to work will be little different. So this comes from the concept of Windows subsystems for Linux. So the same thing will be extended, and these APKs will run in the Windows environment. So moving forward, so now we come to now we talk about how this space will evolve further. To see that, we'll have to go back 10 years ago. So when the mobile world is still in its nascent stage, and we have seen how companies, whether it is Flipkart or many other companies, were trying to deal with that mobile first approach. 10 years ago, a lot of companies were still working on their future design approach for the mobile revolution. At that time there was a constant thought that probably the Chrome browser or the mobile browser should be utilized, and our designs should be responsive for smaller screens. So you make one design which is working on your laptop, on your mobile, and working across in the Chrome browser or some other browsers. That's why we had a lot of mobile browsers which were propping up at that moment of time. However, that changed when all of a sudden we realized that the native application support, app support is much better for the development in the mobile than relying on these browser based development. So this is how the foundation of the development shaped up during that period of time 10 years ago. 10 years after now in 2021, Windows 11 comes up with the native support. What that means is your Android app can run on Windows without any problem. And if that happens successfully, what will happen? Do you still require, so right now the problem is that you will have a smaller window, right? So your app will typically or still be running as an Android app on Windows, which is on the smaller, in this smaller screen size. But what happens if we have the responsive design in the native app, where your app designs are customized for your screens? So if you are opening up that in the larger screen, your app works like that. If you are loading that app in the smaller screen or a mobile screen, that goes smaller. If that happens, the whole world of web development will go through a sharp change. Now here you have a scenario while your Android apps can run on your Windows environment effortlessly, why would companies want to maintain two separate environments if they can still do away with the Android version only? And the change will be very significant. Do you still believe that in that era you will still require the skills around React, Angular, Django, HTML, and I think Vue or many other front-end technologies? So this is going to take a paradigm shift going forward, and if you are working in this space, probably you should please beware of these larger developments which are happening in the industry. I will come up with some similar analysis with some more insights on various other topics, so you should stay connected, stay tuned, and take care.